Hello there and welcome back to ADcraft. As you can see, I've got my Christmas jumper on and I'm looking today to do a tutorial for you on how to build this gingerbread house in your creative or survival world. Please make sure to watch through to the end of the video so that you can see this in a full shader pack and with vanilla textures. But without any further ado, let's get on with the video. Moving through the block palette, we've got some orange terracotta for the gingerbread itself. For the icing, we've got some smooth quartz, some quartz pillars and some smooth quartz slabs. Then we've got some dark oak planks and dark oak stairs, which look like some chocolate. Then for the candy canes, we've got some red nether brick stairs and some polished diorite stairs. We also have some quartz stairs, just normal quartz, and some redstone blocks for the two different types. We have some acacia stairs, spruce door, some dark oak trapdoors, some jungle trapdoors. For the lighting, we've got some lanterns and some glowstone. Then to cover up some of the lighting, we've got some brown carpet. And then we've got the sweets to go on top. The colours we've got for the concrete are orange, light blue, yellow, green, pink, red and purple. And then finally some yellow, orange and red stained glass to finish off. The total space needed for this build is 26 by 23 blocks. The main base is 18 by 12 with an additional 3 by 6 add-on at the front. The base is 4 blocks in where you place the first block for this floor. The first thing we're going to do is actually build the gingerbread house itself. Now, as we said before, this is an 18 by 12 structure and it's also 10 high at the highest point of the apex. The doorway is 4 blocks high with a 6 block peak. When we fill in the rest of the blocks here, we're doing it so that it'll make it significantly easier when we add the roof in later. Now we've completed the structure, we're going to knock through the doors and the windows ready for us to fill in the details later. Now that the main base of the house is complete, we're going to put in the windows, the doors and the other holes in there. So first thing, I just need to correct something. This needs to go up on and these blocks need to come out. We'll fill those in later. So first thing to do is place a couple of doors in. And next we're going to be placing in the windows. Now the windows are done by an upside down stair, and this is the quartz stair in each of these spaces, and then a right way up stair at the top across all of these, and then using the quartz pillars we fill in either side. Then this is where some of the slightly trickier stuff comes in. You need to get into the right position so you can place a trapdoor here, a trapdoor there, open a trapdoor here, and open a trapdoor there. And what that gives is a nice way that you can actually see through the window using the half blocks. And what we're going to do is repeat that process on all of the different holes that we've created. So next we'll do it once more over here. So stairs, stairs, and then some quartz pillars. Once we've done that, again, this is the difficult bit, get right to the close to the edge, open this up, place it on the side, same on the top, open it up, and then place this on the side. Now the last bit that we're going to do on this side, which is also going to be repeated in the other 4x4 holes, is just to create a central hole in here by completing all of these. And we'll repeat that on the other side, and then also the hole at the front. The next thing that we're going to add in is the candy canes. Now at the front you've got 2 candy canes that are 5 high, so what you want to do is come in here and go a redstone block at the bottom. Personally, I add another redstone block here, and then pillar and a pillar, and then one more redstone block on the front. Now it's entirely up to you which directions that you have these. I've just chosen the aesthetic choice of going out with the stair block facing in the front, a redstone block, stairs, and a redstone block with a lantern, and on the other side, just for a bit of variety, to go out the other way with some stairs. There we go, a block of redstone, stairs, a block of redstone, and then the lamp. Now those are both 5 high on the front. On each of the corners then we have got a 7 and a 6 high. So we'll start with the 7 high, so any odd number will start with a redstone block. Again, it's entirely up to you which height you do these at. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then whenever you get to the redstone block, that's the point that you will then add your stair, and then your other redstone block and stair. So as I said, we have a 7 there, so we're going to go for a 6 here, which means that we start with even numbers. We start with the pillar, and there we are going to go out this way, I think. So now redstone, stairs, and final piece of redstone, and then you just repeat the same on the other side but mirrored, so you have the 7 at the back and the 6 at the front. So what we're going to be doing as part of this time lapse is putting on the roof. Now we're going to start with the chocolate, which is the dark oak stairs, and then we're going to move to putting the candy canes around the edge to make it look like there's candy canes surrounding the entire roof, and that is using the red nether brick stairs and the polished diorite stairs as well. Now for placing the candy canes, alternate with the red nether brick stairs and the polished diorite stairs, and then go around the sides also and across the top, and then flip, because we have got a 2 block center at the apex, so that you have the alternate pattern on the other side. As you'll notice in a minute, I did make a slight error and put 2 polished diorite blocks together, but I did pick this up and then fix it before the next clip. Now for the purposes of this part of the time lapse, I have used the dark oak stairs to actually fill in the roof. This isn't really necessary because when we come back later we will be using a lot of the quartz blocks, and you could actually just fill in the chocolate blocks, the dark oak, at that point. Now in this clip you'll see that I'm adding the smooth quartz stairs, and then I'll be adding the coloured concrete. Now the coloured concrete is meant to be sweets within the roof, and then you've got some icing that is the smooth quartz stairs. So as I mentioned before, you could quite easily just build this stage and add in the dark oak at this point in the build, but just for me, for placement of blocks, it made it easier to add it in before. If you're doing it in survival mode, it's probably easier to do it here. Now which colours that you want to use and where you want to put them is entirely down to you. I was just trying to make sure that no two colours were too close together, whilst keeping a nice mix of the real colourful blocks that could quite easily be sweets. On the first side I did it in a more line by line uniformed way. On this side you'll see that I actually do it in a much more sort of freestyle way, actually placing multiples of the same colour in so they're not too close together. Now the final thing you'll see me do in this build is just start to place a couple more of the sweets around the build itself, just to add a bit more colour, just to make it add to the illusion that it really is a gingerbread house. The next thing that we're going to do before we finish off the build with the icing is we're going to go inside and we're going to light things up, and we're also going to put the glass panes in place. So for each of these porthole windows we're going to put 2 yellow and then 2 orange underneath. So we'll repeat that in here as well, 2 yellow and 2 orange, and finally the same here. And then for the windows themselves, we're going to place some red and some orange. So you might need to, for the first block, you'll probably need to crouch in order to place it against the trapdoors. And then we repeat the same on all of the windows here. Now where you put the lighting after you've done these windows is entirely up to you. I will just be sticking some glowstone out and about against the walls in order to give some lighting around all of these pieces of glass that are about. So there's not really much rhyme or reason about it. I am just, like I say, going to the outside of each of these elements and placing some glowstone. If you want to do this in a more uniform way, then please do. Let's just finish this off, make sure it's lit up. Just a couple in over here as well. It really does depend a little bit on how much glowstone that you have or want to use. Then inside, I'm not going to be doing any real decoration, but I am just going to stick a couple of glowstone in the floor to light the build up properly. Just there and there. And then finish that off by covering it with some carpet. Now one of the options that you can do, I'll show you on one window, is if we remove this glowstone, oh, actually we don't need to, is you can actually repeat what you've got on the other side, on the inside, which gives quite a nice effect. And then you can actually put the quartz pillars going all the way up. It reduces the amount of space you've got in your build, but it does give quite a nice effect if you want to finish it off. Actually, even if you add in the scrolls at the bottom, so that is an option of what you can do in order to make your make everything look a bit nicer. And then if you wanted, you could place glowstone around that way. Now the final part to this build is the one that really adds the depth and makes it look like it's got icing all the way around the outside. I'll do a little bit of this and then I'll switch over to a time lapse to show how I finished the rest of it. But the key thing is basically you're just trying to add some different angles and directions for your icing to be facing, so that it looks organic, and when you come around the side you'll really see what I mean. There is a bit of moving around needed in order to actually do this correctly, and switching between the quartz slabs and the quartz stairs, but as you can see it looks like it's dripping down once you've done it correctly there. And again, there's a number of different ways that you can do that. Just playing around with how the items connect is a good one. So for example, if you've got something there and you don't want it to connect straight away, you can stick in a slab and that will stop the connection. And then here you might want it to curve around the edge. So as you can see there, it makes it look like there is just icing dripping all the way around. So I will now cut into a time lapse and finish this off. Now we look at the completed build with the vanilla texture pack on, and as you can see, if anything, it looks even more gingerbready than it did before. The smooth quartz still maintains its look of the icing, and I think it looks fantastic in this build, and hopefully it'll look just as fantastic when you put it in your own world, whether it be a creative or a survival world. It's quite intensive to get the different variety of blocks for a survival world, but ultimately this would look fantastic in any Christmas themed village. As the sun sets on our build with a shader pack on, you can see how great it looks, especially as it starts to light up in the with a little bit of extra decoration added in for good measure. So I'd like to say thank you very much for watching. Please do make sure that you leave a like and a comment on the video, and make sure that you do subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the future updates.